Most people don't ever get to see the deep sea, but I'm really lucky and I get to see sea pigs and fish swimming around and jellyfish. It's a really vibrant and active community. I'm just lucky enough to get to see it. The ocean and the climate are directly linked. In order to understand the massive impacts of climate change on our ocean, we're drawing data from a robotic lab on the deep sea floor at Station M.
Our ocean is vast, covering more than 70% of the planet. Abyssal plains, the flat, muddy, wide open stretches of the deep ocean floor, cover more than 50% of the Earth's surface and are an important part of the carbon cycle. Station M, 291 kilometers off the coast of Santa Barbara, is 4 kilometers deep, and it's provided an unprecedented window into important abyssal ecosystems for the past 30 years.
My name's Chrissy Hufford. I'm a research specialist at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, where I study the amount of carbon making its way to the deep sea and what it does once it gets there. Studying carbon at Station M is important because if we want to understand how much carbon makes it into the deep sea and is being taken up from the atmosphere, we want to know how much is consumed in the ocean, and we also want to know how much might be actually stored in the sediments on geologic timescale.
My name is Ken Smith. I'm a senior scientist here at MBARI. The deep ocean has been ignored primarily because it's so difficult to explore. Station M, you're dealing with 4,000 meters depth, crush depths that are astronomical. And to build instrumentation to survive that and to actually make measurements is pretty astounding.
My name is Paul McGill, and I'm an electrical engineer at MBARI. Station M is this amazing undersea laboratory that operates 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It's about a 12-hour cruise from shore, but it's very expensive to have people out there, so we have several robotic platforms we use to collect data.
The first thing you might see as you approach Station M is the wave glider. It visits Station M 3 to 4 times a year, checking to make sure all the robots are functioning properly. MBARI's remotely operated vehicle, Doc Ricketts, visits once a year to capture video of deep-sea communities. The Benthic Rover is a mobile laboratory that moves very slowly across the sea floor, taking photographs of the animals and sediment in its path. Every 10 meters, the rover stops and takes measurements of organisms living in the sediment. The Sedimentation Event Sensor estimates carbon supply, taking pictures of the marine snow which scientists analyze. A time-lapse camera allows scientists to see exactly when pulses of marine snow occur and how animal communities respond to changes in food supply.
For many years, oceanographers and biologists modeled this marine snow as a very consistent thing. And what we've learned in our studies at Station M is that it's anything but consistent. Sometimes there's barely a trickle, and other times there's a huge snowstorm and piles of organic material land on the bottom of the ocean.
By studying Station M for so long, for 30 years, we've been able to understand and measure this amount of carbon making its way to the deep sea is changing. At Station M, it's increasing and has been increasing pretty rapidly for the past 10 years. The ocean has taken up about 25% of the carbon dioxide that we have put into the atmosphere. And it's taken that up through a number of processes. One of those processes is the biological carbon pump.
The biological carbon pump starts when single-celled algae take up carbon dioxide dissolved in surface waters and use it for photosynthesis. A lot of these algae are eaten by small animals, which poop out little carbon-rich pellets. Clumps of these algae, bits of poop, and parts of tiny dead animals make up marine snow. Most marine snow gets eaten as it sinks through the water column, but some of it sinks to the deep sea, where the carbon in it is unlikely to reach the atmosphere again anytime soon. Animals and microbes eat most of the marine snow that reaches the deep sea. This is their main source of food. But a tiny fraction evades consumers and its carbon can be stored in marine sediments for geologic time.
The ocean's carbon cycle is a critical buffer for the impacts of climate change to humans. There would be a lot more carbon dioxide acting as a greenhouse gas in the atmosphere if it weren't for the ocean taking it up. The ocean is facing many threats right now, such as plastic pollution, overfishing, deep sea mining, and climate change impacts the ocean health in a way that makes animals and ecosystems less healthy and less able to face those other onslaughts. And Station M provides us an extraordinary window into the changes in the deep sea caused by climate change.